the the quality of the soil, or plant diseases that can be.
If we can do that, that will empower the public to be able to estimate these pesticide concentrations, and it will put something where if this technology comes in and it can. So that's the biggest problem. Even with awareness, even with women willing to go, we need expert doctors, and there are very few of them who can actually do this, especially in those areas. And if we want to screen large fraction of people, that's the biggest problem. So what we are doing with the partnership with Archana at ISH is we are
मिसिङ भ्याल्युजलाई इम्प्युट गर्ने केही कुराले रिप्लेस गर्ने कुराहरू होला हैन अनि अर्को मिसिङ भ्याल्युज नल भ्याल्युजहरु छ भने त्यसलाई हटाउने कुराहरू होला अर तपाईको डिनर्मलाइज्ड फर्म छ भने चाहिँ नर्मलाइज गर्ने कुरा त्यो त्यसलाई ब्रेक डाउन गरेर नर्मलाइज गर्ने कुराहरू होला या यसको लागि चाहिँ वी युजिङ AWS सो लेट्स यसलाई ब्रेक डाउन गर्दै सानो स्टेपमा हेरौँ है ओभरअल चाहिँ 1 or 2 मा एउटा एक्सट्र्याक्सनको प्रोसेस भइरहेको छ हैन अनि 2 देखि 5 सम्म जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ एउटा ट्रान्सफर्मेसनको प्रोसेस भइरहेको छ बिचमा स्टेजिङको पनि कुराहरू होला है सो त्यहाँ चाहिँ ट्रान्सफर्मेसनको कुरा भयो अनि 5 देखि 6 सम्म जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ तपाईको लोडको काम भइरहेको छ सो एउटा डेटाबेसबाट अर्को डेटाबेसमा माइग्रेसन गर्ने कुराहरू होला हैन अनि वी वर्क विथ डिफ्रेन्ट फाइल फर्मेट्स सच एज तपाईँको फाइल फर्मेट CSV हुनसक्छ JSON हुनसक्छ पार्केहरू हुनसक्छ होइन एन्ड अल्सो API इनपुटबाट हामीले डेटा तानिरहेको हुनसक्छ अर AWSमा कतै S3 बकेट्सहरू राखिरहेको हुनसक्छ है सो डेटा सोर्सेस चाहिँ रियली भ्यारिज अनि तपाईँको एउटा कुनै सिस्टममा चाहिँ तपाईँको डेटा सोर्स सिङ्गल हुनसक्छ अर मल्टिपल पनि हुनसक्छ मल्टिपल अफ डिफ्रेन्ट टाइप्स
The topic of my talk is time series data and application. So why I chose time series data? Because we see time series data everywhere in our life. Maybe in business, every business you go, there are a lot of sales that are happening in the business, demand happening in the business, or we see the temperature data. Nowadays we are talking about IoT, we see the sensor data and so on. So this time series data is everywhere. So the main aim of me talking about time series data is to give you some insight how time series data looks like and what is the main difference between non-time series data and time series data and why it is important to know some of the characteristics or some of the properties of time series data. Okay, so on the background, let us look at some of these examples. What are time series data? So when we say time series data, we need to understand that these are the data which have time stamps or which are the order sequence of data which are properly or equally spaced over time. So that means if I look at number of transactions in a store, I can call this time series data only if I have properly ordered. For example, it can be monthly data, hourly data, yearly data, weekly data, but it should be on an equal interval of time. If the data points are random, then it is not easy to analyze. So we need to have data collected in equal interval of time. We can have another data which is, let's say, heart rate over time. It's also data that is recorded on equal interval of time. We can also have data, for example, oil prices over time, over a year period of time, or how the population is growing in Nepal. This could all be the time series data. All of these data have time stamps.
Now I would like to welcome Professor Dr. Binod Prasad Dhakal, Vice Chancellor of Lumbini Technological University, to hand over the token of love to Dr. Bishesh Khanal, Research Scientist and Director of NAMI Nepal.